I am going to discuss on the topic hormonal regulation of the parturition. Parturition is the process by which the fetus is delivered. The duration of the pregnancy in humans is 270 days, average from the fertilization. And in case of the first day of the menstrual period preceding conception, the day 284. During pregnancy, the myometrium shows weak contraction separated over wide intervals. And towards the end of pregnancy, the uterine contraction are more frequent but are irregular. In the last few weeks, the uterine contraction become rhythmic and occur in waves. At the onset of labor, the contraction become strong enough to expel the fetus, and circulating estrogen makes the uterus more excitable, increase the number of gap junction between the myometrial cell, and causes production of more prostaglandins, which in turn cause uterine contraction. And what are the hormones affecting the parturition? The main hormones are the progesterone, estrogen, prostaglandin, placental prolactin, oxytocin, and also fetal adrenal cortex, relaxin, and the endorphin. These are the hormones. That hormones are involved during parturition. So first one, progesterone. Progesterone suppress uterine contraction, whereas the estrogen have the opposite effect. In most mammalian species, a drop in circulating levels of progesterone that occurs prior to parturition. In corpus luteum dependent species, this may be accomplished by uterine luteolytic factors, whereas other placenta dependent species changes in the enzyme activity, which increase estrogen production that may bring down to progesterone level. And progesterone is directly antagonistic to uterine smooth muscle contraction induced either by oxytocin or prostaglandins. A lowering progesterone level would be the stimulus for parturition to occur. Next hormone, estrogen. Estrogen increase myometrial excitability, possibly by lowering the membrane potential of uterine smooth muscle. Number of estrogen receptor increases as progesterone level decline. Estrogen enhance uterine excitability by increasing endometrial prostaglandin synthesis activity, increasing myometrial and endometrial oxytocin receptors, increasing oxytocin production and secretion by neurohypophysis. Next, prostaglandin. Prostaglandins play an important role in parturition, where increased synthesis and release of prostaglandin precede labor. Prostaglandin factor 2 alpha releases from the endometrium may be the luteolytic factor responsible for luteal regression, resulting drop in luteal progesterone production, that being followed by uterine contraction and parturition. Then placental prolactin. Levels of prolactin increase in the human fetus during late gestation. Major changes in the organ growth occurs in the fetus, and which may be responsible for increased growth and function of fetal adrenal cortex. Oxytocin has a direct uterine contraction actions and fetal movements. At the onset of labor, more of oxytocin is secreted, And there is increased expression of oxytocin receptors in the myometrium. The number of oxytocin receptor in the myometrium and the deciduous increases more than 100-fold during pregnancy, and that reaches peak during early labor. The sensitivity of myometrium to oxytocin is enhanced by estrogen, but depressed by progesterone. And once labor is started, the uterine contraction dilate the cervix and set up signals in afferent nerves which increase oxytocin secretion. Oxytocin increases uterine contraction in two ways. It acts directly on uterine smooth muscle cell to make them contract, and also stimulates the formation of prostaglandins in the deciduous, which then enhance the oxytocin-induced contraction. During labor, spinal reflexes and voluntary contraction of the abdominal muscles also aid in the delivery. Oxytocin is known as hormone of love because it is involved with love making, fertility, contraction during labor, and release of milk in breastfeeding. It helps us feel good, triggers nurturing feelings and behavior. So it is also known as caudal hormone. Now, fetal adrenal cortex in sheep and other large animals, the onset of parturition is initiated by the activation of fetal pituitary adrenal axis. When the fetal organs have reached the proper degree of development, the paraventricular nuclei send a hormonal signal to the pituitary to start producing adrenocorticotropic hormone, thereby initiating labor. Increased fetal glucocorticoid production in the sheep is stimulatory to placental production of estrogen and from progesterone, which leads to a subsequent fall in the maternal plasma and tissue progesterone concentration with concomitant rise in estrogen concentration. The resulting change in estrogen progesterone levels may provide the stimulus to uterine production of prostaglandins or prostacyclins and aid to an increase in uterine oxytocin receptor number. The rise in adrenocorticotropic hormone causes production of cortisol from the fetal adrenal glands, and the rise in the fetal cortisol leads to an increased estrogen progesterone ratio by upregulating enzymes, that enzyme aromatase enzyme, which convert androgens to estrogen. And cortisol also reduces progesterone production. Then relaxin. The corpus luteum is the source of relaxin. In addition to corpus luteum, copious amount of relaxin also present in the placenta or uterus. Relaxin concentration in the luteal and other tissues is the highest during pregnancy. Relaxin acts on pubic symphysis to transform the connective tissue from a compact cartilaginous type to a more fluid, flexible structure. This results in the formation of ligament between the pubic bones. The resultant increases the flexibility and enlargement of the birth canal, which is important for successful parturition in a number of species. Relaxin inhibits uterine motility by relaxing the myometrium due to its myometrium inhibitory activity and plays a significant role in maintenance of pregnancy. Relaxin increases the secretion of two key collagenollytic enzymes, collagenase and plasminogen activator from dispersed amnion and chorion cell. Results on collagen degradation in fetal membrane. Relaxin and growth hormone act synergistically in stimulating mammary gland growth. Relaxin promotes the development of mammary nipples and enables normal lactational performance. And the last one, endorphins. Endorphin produced from hypothalamus and also from brain. And nowadays, 20 different types of endorphins are reported. And during stress or pain, body produces calming and pain relieving hormones that is known as endorphin. This is coming from endogenous morphine, that's the endomorphin. The level of endomorphins continues to rise steadily and steeply through the birth of the baby. High endorphin levels during labor and birth can produce an altered state of consciousness that help to deal with the process of giving birth, even it is long and challenging. High endorphin levels can make the mother feel alert, attentive, and also feel happy after birth and care for baby. Endorphins are believed to play a role in strengthening the mother-infant relationship. low levels of endorphin causing labor to be excessively painful and difficult to tolerate. These are the reference books. The Endocrinology of the Parturition, Basic Science and Clinical Applications, Smith, Essential of Human Physiology, R. Suresh, Introduction to Endocrinology, C.S. Negi, Caudate Embryology, Bharman and Agarwal, Mammalian Endocrinology, B.N. Jadhav, Medical Physiology, Ashish Das. And some of the figures mentioned in my presentation are captured from Google image. Thank you.